finished. The 7 hours of football, the Monday, the Thursday, the Sunday nights, it's all over. We get to the results now. We started off with Ravens Bengals, which didn't end up being a really great thing or nothing. Not at all, because the Bengals lost Joey B. They already had T. Higgins out. Now you take out Joey B. Like what? Well, you don't got nothing now. You got a team with a bunch of pieces. Jamar Chase, John Mixon, obviously wasn't doing too bad. He's been having a good season, but or a decent season, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like sometimes it matters too much, but it does, I guess. But I don't know where I was going with that, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Lamar Jackson. He did. I thought he was out a little bit of this game. His wide receivers took a hit. Odell Beckham Jr. But Keaton Mitchell has been to the past 2 weeks. That's skipped. But for the past 2 weeks, he's been pretty decent with barely any touches. Maybe they even had him even more this week because they did give him 8 carries compared to before. But yeah, the Ravens pretty much won that decently smoothly, I guess you could say. But they got it. Divisional rivals, so gonna help out later on when they do end up if Lamar goes down or something happens. I'm not trying to jinx them, but yeah. Let's go to Steelers Browns. Obviously, no D. Sean Watson. He's on vacation, getting his rubs on. Getting some massages. Is what I was trying to say. Something else came up. Whatever. Jalen Warren looking pretty nice for him. Wait, am I looking at? Am I looking at the correct scores right now? Okay. For some reason, I thought the Packers. Am I tripping or something? Packers faced. Okay, yeah. I was thinking of last week. That's why I'm like, wait, what happened here? But the Steelers found a way to lose this time around. Even though them Browns somehow it's both of these teams that just find ways to win. Pretty much a mix of coaching and just players mixed in. Obviously, the Browns, the running back position is always up and down since Nick Chubb left. No Deshaun. At least they got their number one wide receivers and keep. But honestly, Elijah Moore, I guess his numbers are getting up there. David Njoku, he's always. I mean, He's been pretty good for them for a while. I don't know how this came up, but let's get rid of it. But yes, Amari Cooper, even though he didn't ball out for this game, obviously he's a freaking presence when he's on the field. Deontay Johnson and George Pickens just have been so great. Maybe it's Kenny Chickens, laying chickens. Off to another game. But yes, the Browns ended up winning it with a field goal. I forget somebody asked Mike if they should start doing Mr. Town. If they should run more of Jalen, which I agree with because I have him on a fantasy team. But I'm kind of eliminated, so it doesn't really matter. But I wanted that much earlier, but they didn't do that. Dolphins Raiders. Tough game, but the Dolphins ended up winning, not in Dolphin fashion, but they won. So it doesn't really matter. HA came back, ended up going out again. But somebody told me that it wasn't too big of a deal. Lions vs. Bears. Detroit came all the way back after it was looking like they're probably not blown out, but just they were going to lose pretty bad, I guess, to a team that shouldn't be. Even though actually the Bears haven't been terrible lately. But it was Justin Fields' game back, and they ended up found a way to lose. That's how the NFL works sometimes. Jags, Titans. Jags, this is actually one of my favorite times of the NFL year because a lot of these teams are under 500, even though, I don't know. It's not like a certain amount of teams are obviously pretty, like, there's the fours, like Eagles and all that stuff. But pretty much I'm saying for a lot of these teams, it's either rebound or, you're probably going to be bad for the rest of years. Like Cardinals, you could see right there. Jags, they took a L and just bounced back. And Titans, it seems like those are going to be the teams that are most likely going to keep losing. But the Titans do have Mike Vrabel, and Cardinals. That wasn't a bad loss or nothing, and that was his second game, so he's 1-1 with the Texans. Stroud didn't have a great game neither, but he still found a way to win. Packers, Chargers, I technically already talked about that one. It ended up with a field goal, and they got the dub. Chargers I don't know, that was a tough one for them because somebody else in that division is making a climb, and Mr. Unlimited, Mr. Unlimited, Mr. Unlimited, is making a push. Him and Sean are making a push with their trio of running backs and wide receivers when they need them. I believe in this team. I don't know. They're doing good, but a lot of these games come in last minutes and stuff, which some of their other games they could have probably won too. Oh, there goes the fantasy duck. So pretty much I'm going to transition to some fantasy, and we're pretty much going to end up calling it. But yeah, the 49ers. Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles with this one might have stamped that they're probably the best team in the NFL. Probably. But then again, Broncos just beat the Chiefs there. Not what we got there. I don't know. The NFL is just, I don't know, trying to put one against another. Like for me, it might be the Ravens, since they got defense, Lamar Jackson, and everything else. I know they've had some stumbles, and Lamar hasn't played great, but I feel like he's most likely going to come back and do a stingamajig. But yeah, back some fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. Some fantasy time. We didn't even look at the standings. I really want to do that, but we'll do that next time. But some fantasy for a good minute or so, and we're gonna call it Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. If you had him, you most definitely got a 30 pack. A 30 pack that was probably needed for some of y'all. These aren't terrible numbers, but obviously if you have Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, some of these top level fantasy guys, you want the number. You want the numbers. I tell you, number important, very important in fantasy. But yes, that 30 pack actually helped a op of mine win one of his games. So I need to pull up one of these days. Keenan Allen obviously been outstanding in fantasy. He's actually pretty good all around, but still, this is fantasy we're talking about now. And Keenan Allen, that man hadn't disappointed in a long time, other than when he gets injured and stuff. But yeah, Tank Dell, man, this guy right here seems like he's if Nico Collins and him don't get in his way, he's gonna be that number one. He seems like he's the number one guy already. But with the injuries and all that stuff, it's not bright. It's kind of blurry. Then Tyreek Hill, you're probably, with the injuries he's had. I feel like Tyreek Hill has been injured for the past 5 years, but yet he always finds a way to get all these crazy numbers. This can't be true. 32, the most fantasy points by anybody this week. This is outstanding. Well, not outstanding. This is blasphemy. That was what I was trying to say. Where's the thing at for the rest of the players? So QB is obviously Trevor Lawrence, the Knight of Florence. Prodigy, Justin Herbert. A lot of the Pockets guys have had good games, but obviously Dobbs didn't have a really great one for one of the. I actually haven't seen his numbers. Where's his numbers? I need to look at that. Where's the Pastronaut? The Pastronaut. Where is he? I can't find him. How's he not? Let's look for Minnesota. There he is. Oh, he's rocking red. I was looking for people. Wait, 16.9. I'll take it if the rest of your players are doing good. Pretty douche numbers don't say so. Jalen Hurts, a couple of the runs and all that stuff got him to where, yeah, I wanted 30 from him to be honest, but whatever. It happens. Running backs, man, one of the ones I've just been eyeing this year, or one of my favorite, just his style of playing, all that. Hopefully, it's not just under that coach and regime and the quarterback and the system they're running is Rashad White. He's just been freaking killing it out there. Just a dominant force on that field, on that gridiron, man. So next year, I would think he's easily a number one pick. Not overall, not overall. Let's chill with that, but easily in the first to second rounds. Easily in the first to second rounds. I mean that. Let's see what happens with the rest of the year, though. But Ty Chandler seems like he might be a good pickup. I picked him up in 2 leagues, I believe. That's because I had no choice in their deep leagues. Man, Samaje Perine, I feel like they need to use him much, much more. Even though I don't have any stock of Samaje Perine. And this guy, Darnell Henderson, Darnell. I don't know what the hell I was trying to say. Yeah, Henderson Jr., Darrell Henderson, Darnell Henderson. Well, yeah, he's been pretty good these past couple of weeks, but that might change with Kyron. Kyron showing up to the party. If he ends up showing up to the party's over and balloons and everything. Get that out of here. Man, one thing I was pissed off about, the number one thing, I took a risk draft pick because I was like, why not start off early? I took Cooks, James Brother, first, or no, not first. That would be crazy. Like one of the higher picks I had, because I'm like, he's gonna kill it since Breece. They were making it sound like Breece Hall is not gonna be, right off the bat. They're not gonna go 100, which they didn't, but he was still getting so much carries and all. But I feel like it's the effect of Aaron Rodgers as well too, so that kind of sucked. Yeah. That put me down the rabbit hole. It was hard to get out of. Then I had Justin Jefferson lost, Justin Fields lost. There's at least one more or two. Man, when I drafted Michael or Pittman late in the draft, I'm like, wow, I got one of the steals of the draft. I'm gonna kill it. That did not happen. It's been a very sad fantasy season, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be what we kind of already talked about the wide receivers, but the decline of Puka Nacua. Not a this game was actually good compared to the rest, but man, the numbers he was putting up is just look at these numbers. A decline, 100% decline. I don't care if he's had the 23 and the 18. That's 100% decline. Even though the Shekel experimenters said it wouldn't happen, it's going to happen. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I feel like he had another injury or so, or he was questionable during other games, but I didn't 100% look into it. But I feel like he was out there almost every other play, so I would say he's lately. But then again, a lot of people picked him up off wires and other ways. But one of the Packers received. I forget if it was Jaden Reed or who's the other one. Okay, I can't find him. But whatever, he's a beast. Or at least he looks like it. But yeah, this is going to be it. To end of the show, Fantasy Plus. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one.